to another video. Today we're going to take a look at things I'm going to sell, or at least try to sell. Twice a year, through Comic Art Fans, they have the Comic Art Live online convention, and it's for art collectors. They do a series of panels, interviews with artists, creators. The creators themselves sell some artwork, but it's a chance for collectors to kind of go through their collection and offer some things up for sale. And I did it 6 months ago. They do it twice a year. I think it's April or May, and then November. And the next show is next weekend, November 16th and 17th. So I thought, it's a good opportunity to have a bunch of eyes on some art, and just to as a good exercise. I like to take that opportunity to go through the collection, see where I'm at, and see what I can maybe potentially let go. So we're gonna take a look at some of the things I'm gonna offer up. Talk about maybe why. Some of the things that are in this pile of art are things that you've seen me unbox on this channel. So that means I've purchased it in the last year, which sometimes the way that I collect, and I try to keep things as a closed loop as possible as far as hobby funds, that forces me to probably evaluate things in my collection more often than, say, a lot of collectors might. They might, collectors just buy things, stash it away, and then never touch it. And probably that's the better way to do things. But I really I try to force myself to go through this exercise. And now, naturally, things that are in this pile I like. This is all art that I enjoy because it's in my possession. But in the spirit of the exercise, this is what I came up with. So now, some of the things, I'll start off with this one. This is the you saw me unbox this one maybe, like, I don't know, earlier this year sometime. It's Superman. It's the electric blue Superman. I was on my electric blue Superman phase of buying art for a bit there. And I still really enjoy this page. It's Ron Frenz and Joe Rubinstein, and it's from Superman issue 131. I think it's a really great image of that swooping electric blue Superman. However, when I got it in hand, I looked through my collection. I feel like, and this is probably unfair because I have the Ron Frenz and Joe Rubinstein commission that homages the Superman Blue debut, and I look at the pieces, even though this is a published example, I'm more attached to that commission that I had them do. So yeah, so we're gonna offer this one up. I'm not really gonna name prices. I haven't really fully landed on where I'm at with prices, but I will say, if there's anything that you see that interests you, like, reach out and we can talk about it, and I'm happy to do that. If not, it's things that you'll see in my booth, and I'll put a link in the description of this video. The art, I think, goes live on Saturday at 11 for premium members of Comic Art Fans, and then 1 p.m. I think it's 1 p.m. for anybody. So the premium members get a 2-hour window to see the art first. So, all right, next up, really sweet piece. I'll just show it. Mike Allred. This is a pinup from Superman the Man of Steel Gallery. It was released in 1995. It was essentially an issue celebrating the return of Superman. So they had a series of pinups in the issue done by various artists, and this one was, of course, Mike Allred. Now, I love this piece. Got it, I want to say like 3 or 4 years ago. But especially when I'm talking about Superman stuff, which I thoroughly enjoy. I mean, that's, I would, it was the main focus of my collection when I first started collecting art. But this is a piece that I really enjoy. But after I got this piece, I picked up the, actually, I don't know I forget which one I picked up first, honestly. But when I look at the collection, I have a Mike Allred Planet of the Apes cover, and I really like that Planet of the Apes, and I like having that example be the one that I have in the collection that will remain from Mike Allred. And also with the Superman stuff. Now, it started out as focusing on death and return of Superman, and then I kind of bridged out and did some kind of other stories and other pieces, kind of like the Electric Blue Superman. Um, but I think in my heart, it's really Death and Return. So I think I'm going to trim some of the areas of my Superman collection just to kind of keep it to be those commissions that I have, those Death and Return commissions, as well as some of the published pages. So this kind of falls right outside of that. So it we'll see. Happy to keep any of these, but I think it's fun to kind of offer them up. So next up, again, this is a page that I bought January this year. I bought it at OAX. I bought it directly from Dan Jurgens. And this is I chalk up to. I still really enjoy this page, but doesn't necessarily quite fit in that kind of narrow window that I think I'm looking to stay within. And it's the Superman Doomsday Wars page. Now this is a really great image of Doomsday at the bottom there. But even though I have enjoyed Doomsday Wars more over the years, it's still like probably my least favorite of the Superman Doomsday kind of trilogy. There's the Death and Return, then there's Hunter Prey, and then there were Doomsday Wars was the kind of like the third chapter. Fun story. It's a good story. It's just it falls just outside that window, I think, of what I want to kind of keep. And plus, in my mind when I bought it, I was like, oh, it'd be great to get something from Dan at OAX, and I was already getting that really sweet commission from him. And when I look at the two pieces, I would rather have kind of that commission represent the my memories of OAX. So we'll offer this one up. I actually did have Dan signed it on the back there, so that's cool. Next up is a page from Superman issue 107. It's another Ron Frenz and Joe Rubenstein page. Also, this story written by Dan Jurgens. It's from the Trial of Superman. Pretty cool page. Really enjoy this one. It's got all of the reign of the Superman characters on there. Now again, we talked about it. I love Cyborg Superman. Yeah, but Trial of Superman. It's gonna fall outside that window of what I think I want to focus on. So we're gonna offer this one up. Still really like that page. So if that one, I mean, so far I think of all the things that I've shown, this would be the one that I would probably want to keep the most. But again, it's fun to offer them up, and if they don't sell, that's okay. If they sell, also okay. So anyway, so next up, this is a cool one. It's a Marvel cover, and it's a cover from Scotty Young. It's from I always get confused. It's Powers of X #3. It's Apocalypse and Magneto. It's a really great cover gag. It's Apocalypse telling Magneto that all the cool villains have the letter all over their costumes. So it's a really fun gag. Really like this cover. This is the one I zeroed in on when I bought it directly from Scotty Young's site. But after I've had this one for, I don't know, I feel like it's 4 or 5 years, and earlier this year I picked up that Planet of the Apes cover from Scotty Young, and it kind of, that cover fits into the collection a lot more. I really love X-Men stuff and X-Men stuff in the 90s, so this kind of gives me that vibe. However, I'd be okay having just the Planet of the Apes cover in the collection and have be my Scotty Young representation. So, okay, next up, another piece of art that you've seen me unbox on this channel, and it was it's a Brett Booth pencils only page from Gunslinger Spawn. It's Gunslinger Spawn issue 15, page 17. And I'll put a scan up. It might be a little better to view, but I still really enjoy this page. But if you remember, in that window, I picked up a couple other pencil pages from Brett Booth, and then this one was on I think the first two pages I bought were on one show, and then this page was on like the next week's show, and I just was still like caught up in the getting more pencil examples from Brett Booth. However, it feels a little redundant. in the collection. Still really enjoy it, but I like the two other pages that I have are from earlier in the run. They're from issue 6. But this one was it was inked digitally, so there's no there's no other physical inks to it, just the pencils. And Brett Booth is one that his pencils really are. Pencil only pieces aren't always. I mean, I like them, but they're not always super desirable. However, I will say Brett Booth's pencils are something special to look at. So yeah, I'm just again, even though I've decided to kind of offer this one up, I'm still I find myself staring down here at the details on the snake, the scaling on the snakes. Yeah, I don't know. It's pretty cool. So, and I guess that's the idea is I still love like all this stuff, but you know, you can't always keep it all, and that's okay if it goes somewhere else because it just kind of is part of the story. And you know, I've made connections with fellow collectors by selling things and having conversations, and it's a good way to meet fellow collectors, like-minded people. So it's fun. Anyway, so the next up I have. This is a Frankenstein commission. Now, I have talked about how much I really enjoy Frankenstein, but I have picked up some other Frankenstein stuff, recently. I have some other Frankenstein stuff in the works. So in order to maybe not go too crazy on Frankenstein stuff, I figured I'd offer this one up to see if anyone out there was interested. It's a Barry Kitson commission that I had him do. It's a headshot of Frankenstein. It was set up as just a headshot at a convention, and then he wasn't able to get to it at the show, and then there was a delay, and the longer the delay happened, I think he felt bad, and he made it a larger size piece, which I really like this piece, but I've since picked up another commission that is similar to this, and the Rick Leonardi commission that I have. So, I don't know. Going through things, trying to offer up things that I haven't listed before, and that was one that I kind of landed on that I could live without, even though, again, I'm looking at it, I was like, damn, it's pretty cool. So, anyway, all right, next up is, let's see, there's a page. This is another Marvel page from an artist I really like, but again, doesn't quite fit in the collection. I picked it up at a time when it was earlier on when, I think it was soon after my son was born. And I was like, oh, I should have art in the house that kind of teaches a lesson or is get that up on the wall. But that never happened, and I don't think it's going to happen. So this is it's a page from Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man #7. It's all by Ken Lashley, and it's a flashback scene of a young Peter Parker, and it's you have Aunt May and Uncle Ben there. It's a kind of a life lesson from them. They're saying, Peter is saying, how do we know that this person is not going to use that money to, buy alcohol, do some bad things with it. So, and then Uncle Ben says, like, look, you just have to have kindness in your heart, believe the best in people, and act accordingly. So it's a really great life lesson from Uncle Ben page, but again, doesn't quite fit with what I'm building, so offer it up. Here's another one. Some of these I've offered. I had listed on CAF before, but I don't think I've listed them on. Some of them I don't think I've listed on Comic Art Live before. Some of them I think I have. But this is just a fun one. It's a John Romita Jr. head sketch of Colossus. Again, 90s stuff. I think it's really cool. I really I liked some John Romita stuff in the 90s. But I have this. When they offered up these head sketches, I grabbed a couple of them, and I grabbed a Nightcrawler, which then I gave to a friend of mine, and then I picked up a Bishop, a '90s Bishop with like the Jerry curl look, and I still have that one. And I thought, because I initially thought, oh, I would hang the the Bishop and the Colossus against each other, but wall space is an issue, and that's not going to happen. So we'll offer up Colossus. Now here's another one. Here's another Gunslinger Spawn page. This was an auction win, and we've talked about it in the past. Auctions are not necessarily the way I like to build the collection, but I got kind of caught up in this one. I thought it was it's really a good page, but it's not necessarily after some of the other covers and pages that I have in the collection. I still have a couple that are coming from Adelso Corona. You know, we'll offer it up. It's a Gunslinger Spawn issue 16, page 9. It's a really good image of Focus, who is a speedster character that Brett designed for the Gunslinger Spirit series. And Focus is going to be getting his own series sometime soon. I know there's a lot of Spawn-related titles in the works, but you know, you get that full page image of Focus, and then you get 2 awesome panels with Gunslinger Spawn in there too. So you get some at least it's not just all Focus, it's Gunslinger Spawn as well. So, but when you look at the pages that I have, some of the other ones are more Gunslinger Spawn focused. Whatever. But yeah, I do like this one, but I'd be happy to see it to go to somebody else who maybe has a better connection with the character of Focus. So, or maybe will when the series comes out. But all right, so here's another one picked up. It was an auction, but a different auction. It was when Kevin Smith was selling his collection of art. I've offered this one up before, but I don't know if I did it on Comic Art Live. It's a page from Green Arrow, Phil Hester, Andy Parks, and it's a Green Arrow 15, page 19. And this is like the climax of the story. This is the Kevin Smith's last issue on Green Arrow, this run, and it's the apparent death of Onomatopoeia. And yeah, this is, again, it's a cool page. But I bought multiple pages during that auction, and I've kind of sold one to a friend, and I actually sold 2 to friends, and then I still have one other one. I want to kind of keep it down to keep 1 in the collection, and that kind of makes that one a little expendable. So now the next group of pages, I think are things that I've listed on Comic Art Live before, and I know Bill has you know, he's mentioned that they like to keep it you know, kind of fresh stuff in the gallery, and I agree with that. That's why I have like some new stuff I'm putting in there. But the idea is that you can put stuff in the Comic Art Live booth, and then it'll funnel people to your classifieds to see if there's anything else that they're interested in. But I just don't trust that people then go to classified stuff. So I'm going to put it all in the booth, and it might not sell because it's not as fresh and new to the market. But you know, we'll see. I'll probably lower the prices where I had them at before, and we'll see what happens. So first off, something really cool. It's a Freedom Fighters cover from Eddie Barrows and Eber Ferrer. This is yeah, it's cool. It's you got the cover, and there was also a 11x17 full prelim, pencil prelim. But this is where, you know, the Freedom Fighters are fighting back. The fighting spirit of Uncle Sam, or the fighting spirit of America, is on the rise, and it allows Uncle Sam to rise from the dead, and that's kind of what you're seeing there. His fist kind of defiantly popping through the ground. So that's cool. But I still have a double page spread of Uncle Sam that I really like. I'll keep that in the collection for now, at least. I don't know. It's always a for now kind of thing. We'll see where we're at in 6 months, but for now, that's the piece I'll be keeping. Next up, it's a Dan Jurgens and Brett Beating page from Superman #0. This is when they did the 0 hour kind of soft reboot of the titles. I really like this one because it's Clark talking to Lois, talking about Kenny, his childhood friend Kenny Braverman, who is the villain Conduit. And I really like, it's a strong image of Clark Kent / Superman there, because he's, you know, doesn't have his glasses on, so it's essentially an image of Superman. Then you get his hair kind of flowing into the memory of track meet with Kenny Braverman. So that's cool. Again, it's just, I don't need it all, and I really I'm gonna dedicate wall space to a bunch of the commissions that I have, and that's what I really want to kind of keep. So yeah, that one a little expendable. Next up, an awesome strong guy from Larry Stroman. I've offered this one up before. Larry Stroman stuff is you know, there's a history with Larry. He has his fans, but also has a history of not delivering any commissions that are set up. I was able to pick that one up directly from him at a show, and that's really the best way to get something from him. But again, kind of some of the '90s stuff I'm trimming back on as far as Marvel, because I don't have a lot of it, so it's just kind of expendable, I guess. Next up, another Ken Lashley piece, an early really Ken Lashley piece from the Wildstorm title Wetworks. I've offered it up before, but we're gonna offer it up again just because it's a strong, Wildstorm has its fans. So I know there's somebody out there who would enjoy having this page more so than fits in my collection. It was an eBay find years ago, and when I was thinking like, oh, I should branch out into Wildstorm stuff, and I tried to get some Kindred stuff from Brett Booth. That didn't work out, and then it's kind of an oddball in the collection, so we'll offer that one up again. Two more pieces real quick here. We have it's a cool page, man. Eddie Barrows and Eber Ferreira again. This is from the Task Force Z series they did. It's a cool. That's the rookie Batsuit from the Super Heavy Greg Capullo, Scott Snyder Batman run, and it's the villain from that arc is Mr. Bloom. So in this story, Mr. Bloom got a hold of the rookie the mech suit that he was walking around in that, which I thought was really cool. So it's a strong image of that, but again, not something that I necessarily need long term. I like looking at it, and every time I flip through the portfolio, I do stop and like, it's a damn good page. It's just really cool. It's a strong image, and you got Man Bat and Solomon Grundy in the background, and yeah, that's pretty cool. And then last up, another Planet of the Apes page that I'm kind of willing to let go of because I have another piece from this series. It's Dave Wachter. It's from the Marvel relaunch of Planet of the Apes that they did earlier. Was it last year? I don't know. I have since picked up some other Planet of the Apes related pieces, and so I kind of focus on more of the classic characters as well as the like the Caesar era movies. This is a branch off from that story. It's this pug. This gorilla is leading the revolution of the apes in Europe. So he had Caesar based in San Francisco, and this story follows a tribe of apes in Europe. So it was a fun story. I enjoyed it. There's not a lot of physical art. Dave Wachter did, I think, 4 traditional pages for this series. I think 2 were double page spreads, and then 2 individual pages. And this was one of those 2 panel pages that he did. So I still enjoy it. I'm still like staring and looking at it because I haven't had it out of the portfolio in a while, and it's really cool. I love his stop sign axe that he uses. So really fun. Again, if any of this stuff stays in the collection, you will not see me complain. But I think it's a good exercise, like I said before. It's a good chance to kind of go through some things. I mean, I've been kind of going crazy on Energon Universe stuff. I did not suspect that I was going to go be as interested in all of that as I am, and I know that there's going to be some things coming up soon that will take up some funds. So, it's like I said, it's a good opportunity to go through the collection and see what might be possible. So. Anyway, so yeah, if there's anything you see in here that interests you, reach out. I'm working on doing some pricing now, and then but then if nothing else, check out the booth on Saturday. It'll be live for, like I said, any Comic Art Fans Premium members starting at 11 a.m. and then anybody, it'll be available at 1 p.m. on Saturday. So anyway, thank you very much for watching this one, and I will see you soon.